Humphrey Bogart, Humphrey Bogart.
Hello and welcome to Movies on Disc, the channel where we talk about all things cinema. Today, we are going to count down the top 10 movies starring one of the greatest actors of all time, Humphrey Bogart. Bogart was an American icon who rose to fame in the 1940s and 1950s, playing tough and charismatic characters in classic films such as Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon, and The African Queen. He was nominated for 3 Academy Awards and won one for his performance in The African Queen. He also had a legendary romance with his co-star and wife, Lauren Bacall, who appeared with him in 4 films. Bogart's legacy lives on as he is widely regarded as one of the best actors in film history. So, without further ado, let's get started with our list of the top 10 Humphrey Bogart movies. Number 10, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, 1948. This film is a gripping adventure drama directed by John Huston, who also directed Bogart in The Maltese Falcon and The African Queen. Bogart plays Fred C. Dobbs, a down-on-his-luck American who joins 2 other men in a quest for gold in the mountains of Mexico. Along the way, they face bandits, natives, and their own greed and paranoia. Bogart delivers a powerful performance as a man who becomes consumed by his obsession with wealth and loses his humanity. The film won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Screenplay for Huston, and Best Supporting Actor for his father, Walter Huston, who played one of Bogart's companions. The film is also famous for the line badges. "We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges." Number 9, Key Largo, 1948. This film is a tense thriller directed by John Huston and based on a play by Maxwell Anderson. Bogart plays Frank McCloud, a World War II veteran who visits a hotel in Florida run by the father and widow of his friend who died in the war. There, he finds himself trapped by a gang of mobsters led by the ruthless Johnny Rocco, played by Edward G. Robinson. Bogart and Robinson had a long history of playing opposite each other, usually as rivals or enemies, and this film is no exception. Bogart's character is a reluctant hero who must overcome his disillusionment and face his adversary. The film also features Lauren Bacall as the widow, Nora Temple, who becomes Bogart's love interest. The chemistry between the two is undeniable, as they had already been married for 3 years by then. The film also won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Claire Trevor, who played Rocco's alcoholic moll. Number 8, The Big Sleep, 1946. This film is a stylish and complex noir mystery directed by Howard Hawks and based on a novel by Raymond Chandler. Bogart plays Philip Marlowe, a private detective hired by a wealthy general to investigate his daughter's involvement with a blackmail scheme. Along the way, he encounters a web of murder, corruption, and deception, as well as the general's other daughter, Vivian Rutledge, played by Lauren Bacall. This was the second film that Bogart and Bacall made together, after To Have and Have Not, and their on-screen chemistry is electric. The film is also notable for its witty dialogue, intricate plot, and atmospheric cinematography. The film was so popular that it spawned a sequel, The Big Sleep, 1978, starring Robert Mitchum as Marlowe. Number 7, To Have and Have Not, 1944. This film is a romantic adventure directed by Howard Hawks and loosely based on a novel by Ernest Hemingway. Bogart plays Harry Morgan, a fishing boat captain who operates in the French colony of Martinique during World War II. He gets involved with the resistance movement against the Nazis, as well as with a beautiful American singer named Marie Browning, played by Lauren Bacall. This was the first film that Bogart and Bacall made together, and the one that sparked their real-life romance. The film is full of memorable scenes and lines, such as the famous "You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow." The film also features Walter Brennan as Bogart's alcoholic sidekick, Eddie, and Hoagy Carmichael as a piano player who sings some of the songs in the film. The film was a huge success and established Bogart and Bacall as one of the most iconic couples in Hollywood history. Number 6, The African Queen, 1951. This film is a romantic comedy adventure directed by John Huston and based on a novel by C.S. Forester. Bogart plays Charlie Allnut, a rough and gruff steamboat captain who transports supplies in East Africa during World War I. He meets Rose Sayer, a prim and proper missionary played by Katharine Hepburn, who persuades him to join her in a daring mission to destroy a German warship. The film follows their journey down the river, as they face various obstacles and dangers, and fall in love along the way. Bogart and Hepburn have a wonderful chemistry, as they contrast and complement each other's personalities. Bogart won his only Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in this film, and Hepburn was nominated for Best Actress. The film is also considered one of the greatest adventure films of all time, and was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. Number 5, In a Lonely Place, 1950. This film is a dark and moody noir drama directed by Nicholas Ray and based on a novel by Dorothy B. Hughes. Bogart plays Dixon Steele, a cynical and troubled screenwriter who is suspected of murdering a young woman he had invited to his apartment. He is cleared by the testimony of his neighbor, Laurel Gray, played by Gloria Graham, who becomes his lover. However, as their relationship progresses, she begins to doubt his innocence and fear his violent temper. Bogart gives one of his best and most nuanced performances as a complex and tormented character, who is both sympathetic and frightening. The film also reflects Bogart's own personal life, as he was going through a difficult divorce from his third wife, Mayo Method, at the time. The film is widely regarded as one of the best films noir ever made, and one of the most insightful portrayals of Hollywood and its creative process. Number 4, The Maltese Falcon, 1941. This film is a classic noir mystery directed by John Huston and based on a novel by Dashiell Hammett. Bogart plays Sam Spade, a private detective who gets involved in a dangerous and complicated case involving a priceless statuette of a falcon. He encounters a cast of colorful and shady characters, such as the femme fatale Bridget O'Shaughnessy, played by Mary Astor, the fat and jovial Caspar Gutman, played by Sidney Greenstreet, and the sinister and effeminate Joel Cairo, played by Peter Lorre. Bogart's performance as Spade is iconic, as he portrays a tough and smart hero who follows his own code of honor. The film is also notable for being Huston's directorial debut, and for being one of the first films to establish the conventions and style of film noir. The film was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. Number 3, Casablanca, 1942. This film is a timeless romance drama directed by Michael Curtiz and set during World War II. Bogart plays Rick Blaine, a cynical and bitter American expatriate who runs a nightclub in Casablanca, Morocco. He is reunited with his former lover, Ilse Lund, played by Ingrid Bergman, who is married to a resistance leader, Victor Laszlo, played by Paul Henreid. Rick must decide whether to help them escape from the Nazis, or to keep Ilse for himself. The film is full of memorable scenes, lines, and songs, such as "Here's Looking at You, Kid, Play It, Sam. Play as Time Goes By," and "We'll Always Have Paris." The film also features a stellar supporting cast, including Claude Rains, Conrad Veidt, Sidney Greenstreet, Peter Lorre, and Dooley Wilson. The film won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and is widely considered one of the greatest films of all time. It was also selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. Number 2, The Caine Mutiny, 1954. This film is a gripping war drama directed by Edward Dmytryk and based on a novel by Herman Wouk. Bogart plays Lieutenant Commander Philip Francis Queeg, the captain of a U.S. Navy destroyer Minesweeper during World War II. He is a strict and paranoid leader who alienates his crew with his erratic and irrational behavior. When he endangers the ship during a typhoon, his executive officer, Lieutenant Steve Merrick, played by Van Johnson, relieves him of his command and faces a court-martial for mutiny. Bogart gives a brilliant and complex performance as a man who is either a coward, a madman, or a victim of circumstance. The film also features Fred MacMurray, Jose Ferrer, and E.G. Marshall in supporting roles. The film was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Bogart. The film is also famous for the scene where Bogart's character obsessively rolls 2 metal balls in his hand, a sign of his mental instability. Number 1, The Roaring Twenties, 1939. This film is a sweeping and epic gangster drama directed by Raoul Walsh and co-written by Mark Hellinger. Bogart plays George Halley, a ruthless and ambitious bootlegger who rises to power during the Prohibition era. He is friends with Eddie Bartlett, played by James Cagney, a former World War I soldier who becomes a taxi driver and a reluctant gangster. He is also in love with Jean Sherman, played by Priscilla Lane, a singer who is Eddie's love interest. The film follows the lives and fates of these 3 characters, as they experience the highs and lows of the 1920s and the 1930s. Bogart's performance as Halley is one of his best and most villainous, as he portrays a cold and calculating man who betrays his friend and his lover. The film also features Gladys George, Jeffrey Lynn, and Frank McHugh in supporting roles. The film is widely considered one of the best gangster films ever made, and one of the finest examples of the genre. The film also has one of the most memorable endings in film history, as Eddie dies in the arms of Jean, saying he used to be a big shot. And that concludes our list of the top 10 Humphrey Bogart movies. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about this legendary actor. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more movie-related content. Also, let us know in the comments what are your favorite Bogart movies, and what other actors or topics you would like us to cover in the future. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Movies on Disc. This is Chloe signing off.
Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart.